Establishing a point of view, a personal vision, is the core mission for landscape photographer Michael Zide. His career began in 1949 in Southern California. Then, after a brief stint on Martha's Vineyard, he came to Amherst. Choosing to work in black and white images, Zide often photographs the same location over several seasons to show how time changes the landscape. Producer Dave Fraser recently spent a day with Michael Zide and shares his story in this Making It Here report.
I chose black and white initially because it was the medium that I could control. I could develop the film and I could develop the prints. And because I had initially gotten into the deep weeds of Ansel Adams and his technical books, that was very important. You can affect how an image will look by how you process the film and how you print it, obviously. A very close friend of mine in my last year of college had parents who had a house on Martha's Vineyard. I wanted to move east because some of the photographers whose work I most enjoyed were photographing East Coast landscape. I thought I was going to be there for a week or two looking around New England for a place to stay, and I stayed there for the next 13 years. Not in that house, but on Martha's Vineyard. The simplest word that really kind of encompasses my search is gesture and metaphor. The landscape for me is really about what it represents. To me, it's really a reconnection with past memory. So I'm not photographing necessarily something that is, in quotes, just another pretty picture, but something that really can act on a variety of levels and have meaning for me. It's really about discovering who I am, as much as finding moments in time and in the landscape. I have to say that I have done a little bit of traveling, certainly back and forth across the country, but for the most part I'm really looking very close to home. It's really not what you see, it's how you see it. I'm quoting someone else's expression, but that really sums it up. So I'm looking along the edges as I drive, the roadways, but I also revisit the same places over time and seasons. I tend to go back to a variety of places. One is Buffalo Falls, which is 10 minutes from my house, and another is a place that we call the Flume. I'm looking for light, I'm looking for gesture, I'm looking for a way of seeing beyond another obvious picture, but something that really resonates with me is the easiest way to say it. In this age of digital photography, film is cheap, which is one great thing. There's also a lot more control. Beyond that, I think that there's all these old arguments of, film has something that digital doesn't. There's a special quality to the image. And I personally, I don't see it. I'm not saying that it's not there, but I'm quite happy with digital. I'm very lucky that, for whatever reason, I seem to have developed a style and a type of image that most people can connect with easily. I did have a mentor who was a very famous photographer of Los Angeles and San Francisco. He taught me something very, very important. He was a master printer, and he said basically there are no secrets, which really was a little bit upsetting because I was hoping I would find that secret, and that would change everything, but there are none. You put one foot in front of the next, and in a number of years, if you are still passionate about what you're doing, you'll look back and you'll see that you've created a body of work. And hopefully it's a body of work that you really connect with.